Welcome back to the Arnie Abramyan Show. Today is going to be an interesting one. Today we're going to talk about LA politics. We're going to talk about family. We're going to talk about influencers. We're going to talk about money. And at the end of the day, we're going to talk about you. So let's get started. If you live in LA or the surrounding areas, why is it important for you to be focused on the LA political races and who the candidates are? What a lot of people are not realizing is LA is being taken over by the DSA, LA, Democratic Socialists of Los Angeles, which is an arm of DSA, which in reality is actually a socialist organization. They are under the Democrats' little umbrella, but they have nothing democratic about them. So they're taking over our local organizations. They're taking over our local associations, the labor boards, and that's how they're going to control the politics in LA and in California. So if you're a Republican or a Democrat, wake up. Your enemy is not one or the other. Your enemy is actually has not showed their face. They're the Socialists of America. They should not have a D in front of it. The only D they should have in front of it is a big D, if you know what I mean. They're actually socialists. They're nothing Democrats. They're nowhere near Democrats. And this is what has happened to California and Los Angeles for the past 5 to 10 years. They've turned a blind eye, and now the socialists are coming in hard. Currently, they have 4 council members on the board. They're trying to push it up to 6. They have 2 that have a very good chance of winning. And once they get to 8, majority vote, city of LA is fucked. So all you business owners, landlords, people with money, people who actually love LA, wake up. DSA is here to destroy LA. And people say, why do I speak so negative of DSA? Because they haven't done anything well for the community. They haven't even done anything right for the people of LA. They act like they do. They say those sweet words and write down, oh, we're for tenant rights and we're for human rights and we're for love of animals and dogs and cats and blah, 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 blah. And homelessness and this, but they have no idea how to fix the problem. I could tell you 50 of the same problems, but if I don't have a solution, it's a waste of time. But people vote for the person that sounds the sweetest or sounds like they're going to do something. And in reality, they don't do it. So a couple races to keep track of is, one, the city attorney race. We want to vote HYDEE in office. She's the incumbent. She's running for city attorney. I highly recommend you vote for HYDEE. HYDEE has the experience, the track record. She's fair on crime. She's not over the top, and she's not easy on crime. HYDEE is also very level-headed. I've met her personally. We've, had conversations. So for HYDEE to stay in office, she needs both the Democrat and Republican vote. So to the Democrats and Republicans out there, I highly recommend for city attorney, you vote for HYDEE FELDSTEIN SOTO. She is the right choice. Marissa Roy is not anywhere near city attorney quality. You will have to, it's going to be bad if she gets in. She does have a good chance of getting in because DSA is pushing her. She's got now like the labor boards and this that are all controlled by socialists now. So it's important to know who your city attorney is. What a lot of people get caught up with is the left and the right, the Republicans and the Democrats, the blue and the red, but they don't know the candidates that are running. A candidate might be a Democrat, but they might align with your values. And that's who you want in office. So all the Republicans out there, when you get that ballot, make sure you vote for HYDEE FELDSTEIN SOTO. So another big race is the mayor race. The mayor race has gotten very competitive, but it's also very loud, right? A lot of people don't realize that poor Karen Bass took the fall for the fires. I don't blame her for the fires. There were a lot of mishandlings happening. A lot of people don't also take into consideration that Gavin Newsom stepped in and they started pushing their agenda and they brought the state, to control stuff. and all these other organizations that come in. So LA is not 100% just by themselves to solve the problem. Federal and state agencies do have override over LA and certain executive orders. So a lot of people don't take that into consideration. But if I had to vote for Curren Bass or Nithya Raman, hands down, Curren Bass. Hands down. If you don't know, Nithya will destroy LA like she's destroyed her city district, her council district. A lot of people don't realize socialists are coming in. They're well funded, well organized. They have boots on the ground, and they're going to take over positions, city council, mayor, Senate, assembly. And that's when the Democrats and Republicans are going to be outnumbered and asked out. So if you're a Republican out there, don't hate your Democrat neighbor. Talk to him. You'll be surprised how much you guys align and have in common. So stay tuned to that. The other very important race is TRACY Park, Council District 11, which actually goes to the Palisades, Venice, and it was a disaster before. She came in, she stands with law and order, she stands with small businesses, she stands for family values, and I highly recommend you support TRACY Park. If you're a Republican, again, Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter, support TRACY Park. Her opponent is actually a socialist. So if she gets in, our beaches get covered with homeless. She's got the bleeding heart of the crackheads and the homeless. So what's going to happen is the Palisades is going to have low-income housing, whether you like it or not. So everybody that sits out this race barking at one another, talking about Democrat versus Republican, you guys are not going to matter when a socialist gets in. So let's wake up to the reality of LA politics. It's no longer Democrats versus Republicans. It's Democrats, Republicans, and socialists. And the independents, bro, get out the way. Like independents, you're like 10 people. So at the end of the day, I believe there are a lot of Democrats that are considered conservative, moderate Democrats that actually align with the Republican values, right? They're God-fearing people. They're hardworking people. They care about family and children. They don't want drag queens reading to their kids. Look, we share a lot of common views. So let's all unite in supporting certain candidates that actually share our values. Vote for TRACY Park, and you won't regret it. So that also brings us to another candidate race. Curren Price, council president, Marquise is not termed out. Curren Price is actually not going to run again, re-election. I believe he's termed out. But in his position, there are socialists running. There are also a few good candidates. But the one that really stands out is his previous chief of staff. Now, in order for you to really get into what is happening with LA, you have to understand that the council districts are very diverse. So if it's not just Latino populated, it's not just African Americans or white or others, it's very diverse now. Even though the council district that Council District 15 that Curren Price used to represent, actually, not Council District 15. Council District 15 is Tim, and Tim should be reelected. He should be perfectly fine in his position. Council District 9, South LA. Council District 9, South LA, Curren Price, he's no longer running. So we also have his deputy chief, Jose Ugarte. He's the one to vote for. Jose is a good man, a family man, a businessman, knows politics, understands politics, religious man. So I highly endorse Jose. Support him, vote for him, do what you can. Tell your friends, tell your family members. It's important to get somebody in office that is actually family friendly, safety matters, and very aligned with our values. So it's for Council District 9. There are 6 candidates. Forget the other ones. Just vote for Jose. Jose Ugarte. So that also brings us to Council District 13. As much as I hate to say so, here in Council District 13, Hugo Soto is going to win his reelection. He's not the better candidate. He's not a good candidate for Hollywood. You've seen Hollywood turn into a homelessness shithole with street vendors, a lot of businesses closing. You can thank Hugo for that one. So, highly don't support Hugo. Highly don't like Hugo. I don't know him as a person, but I don't like his politics and what he stands for. So, Council District 15 is going to be where Watts is. Tim McCosker. He's going to probably win his race, hands down. Let's see. And there's other seats that are open, right? So there are LAUSD seats that people don't pay attention to. And then they have drag queens reading to kids, and they say, oh, well, how did that happen? Well, yeah, the LAUSD board allows certain things. So let's get parents in LAUSD. Let's get people in LAUSD that actually make a difference. At the end of the day, if you're not involved, if you don't vote, shut the fuck up. Simple as that. Don't be some online warrior talking shit. Get into the nitty gritty, get into the fight. And if you win, great. If you lose, you live to fight another day. But at the end of the day, I despise people that sit on the sidelines, eat their fat burgers, and then complain about politics and people. So one thing to do is get involved if you want to see change. We're going to shift over to family values. With the education system coming, indoctrination happening from the early ages, from daycare, literally first grade, to universities. We are going to work towards having our own preschools, building our own schools and charter schools and homeschooling, because I don't believe it and I don't have faith in our public education. I have a child in public schools. It's horrible. It could be a lot worse, I've heard, but it's nothing to what even when I went to school. So very shortly, stay tuned at Arnieville. We'll be going to create a program for all the homeschooling children, all the homeschooling moms that want to have extracurricular activities. There's a lot happening. We have a new home for Arnieville. That'll be released very soon. And we're going to let you know about all the great opportunities we have coming. At the new home of Arnieville, we're going to have youth programs. We're going to have petting zoos, animals. We're not going to have wild animals other than mother-in-laws, but let's not go there. But we're not going to create a chaos. You'll be surprised to hear where the new home of Arnieville is. And I love it. It's a blessing. It's a matter of being chosen, I believe. It wasn't just my doing. But very soon we're going to have good opportunity real close to LA for young families, for youth, for children, and even for animals. And stay tuned for that one. So moving forward, let's talk about social media, influencers, realtors. Whoever is present online is going to get the listing. Whoever is present online that has the eyeballs is going to get that customer. So in 1999, we used to say there's going to be two types of businesses: businesses online and businesses out of business. And today's age, there's two types of businesses or entrepreneurs: people who are online and people who will go out of business. Don't think you're the shit if you're going to go out of business. Just like people used to tell me, we've been in business 20 years. So did Best Buy, so did Kmart, so did Sears. Hundreds of years and billions of dollars. And they still went out of business because they did not keep up with technology and with the internet. So if you're a realtor, a mechanic, anything, that florist, you have to be online. You have to be able to get eyeballs. You have to be able to make sales. And especially restaurants, about 30%, if not more, of restaurants are to-go orders, Uber Eats, and all these other, app orders. And it's going to increase because people are getting sick of getting out. COVID programmed them to stay home or stay in the office. And it's just the way it is. We're going to have to adapt to that and make changes and move forward. So moving on to knowing what is going to happen with our city elections, with our families, with our businesses. It's not that we can't make a difference. We can. You can make the difference you want, be the change you want. However, it doesn't come cheap and it doesn't come easy and it's not free. It requires your time, your devotion, your community involvement. And, it's that simple. You just got to do it to know it. Like, you can't just sit out and keep complaining and bitching and moaning about everything that's going on in the world. From Trump thinking he's Jesus, to Gavin Newsom thinking he's going to be the next president, to Saul, whatever he's with his rape and sex allegations, all that crazy stuff. This is insanity. Like, think about it. You couldn't even write a soap opera like this. That's how horrible it is. And humans have become so short on attention span that they watch something for 3 to 5 seconds and they think they already know it all and they're experts at it. So the truth tellers of social media, like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, you either believe them and that's why they're popular, or you think they're crazy and that's why you watch them and they still get views and eyeballs, which their rating goes up and good things happen to them. What's happening with social media today is they are beginning to control everything with AI. And more than ever, we are under control. There are laws and rules that are being passed that are going to impact us and our children forever to come. Anything that gets posted online becomes public domain. So you no longer own it. It's no longer yours. So be careful out there posting your kids' pictures everywhere and in different, competitions and different algorithms and everything else, because then they can turn that into any type of AI and whatever they want. So moving forward to family, masculinity, legacy, and the men out there, the brotherville, the brotherhood. What's happened is the feminist movement has taken over, and with California being a Democratic state, Democrat-ran state, it's demasculized a lot of men. A lot of men have become pussies, to put it in short, but they've become very soft, very accepting. And I don't blame them. It's in the water. Literally, we're being poisoned. However, that's not the end for you, my man. There's a chance for you to revive yourself, redeem yourself, and become the man you were meant to be. Become the rock of your family. Become a man in your community that cares. That's what fathers do. That's what men do. Become that man. Don't let these little feminists and gay rights and all this stuff fool you. The world needs men. The world needs men to make things right and make things happen. And don't let all this noise of, the white man this and the white man that, because they all like the white man, right? Gavin Newsom, Trump, Biden. Think about it. We're only being played here. So whether you're a white man, Latino, African American, any immigrant, Italian, Armenian, Persian, Russian, men need to be men. Let's go back to our roots. Let's take care of our families. Let's take care of our communities. Let's raise our sons to be sons. Let's raise our daughters to be women. And in short, it's not okay to not be in your child's life. So all the single men out there, or men with children, I want to say single moms, because Mrs. Moms or Mrs. Dads or Mr. Moms, I don't know. Basically, if you get a woman pregnant, it's your responsibility. My pops used to always tell me, keep it in your pants, because if you knock anyone up, you're going to marry them. And a lot of these dudes, they knock up 5-6 ladies, and they're not there for the ladies or the children, and they call themselves men. It's a sad reality. And here's a fun fact, actually. Here's a joke. We had one of our team members that had, I believe, 2 or 3 children from 3 different baby daddies. And I encourage our staff to go vote during an election. So I always say, go vote. So she came in. I said, hey, what's going on? She says, yeah, I'm going to go vote. I said, can you sit this one out? She's like, why, boss? I thought you wanted us to go vote. I told her, I said, because you always pick the wrong guy. He never sticks around. Your choices in men is very horrible. So picking a president, I don't know. Well, she voted for Trump, needless to say. And here's where we are. But what's life? You know, you step back and you realize the grind, the struggle, the hunger, the fight, the battle to be a better father, to be a better man, to be a better version of yourself. And then you die. And you leave everything behind, from your children to your money. So what's more important? Your children, money? If you grind and you work hard, you're not there for the kids. If you're there for the kids, you don't have the money to provide the life you want to give them. So they created this cycle for us. It takes a specific kind of work ethic, dedication, and commitment in order for you to be able to be successful. And first and foremost, discipline. Discipline to be able to, whether you wake up in the morning, work late at night, and grind through your day and be successful. If you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? So you got to have a destination. You got to have a mark. And in the meantime, men are tribal folks. So you got to get a gang of men, a group of men, a team of men. Get a team of men to be with you, to help you succeed. And don't be embarrassed to ask for help. Always reach out to help. Always, ask for help. It's important for you to be successful because you have to give the honor to another man to be able to help you. So life is short. We're only here for a short time. Make it a good time. Make it the best time and succeed. And I do believe God has a plan for you. God has a plan for me. I think God created all this. Think about it. What are the chances of a man and a woman being created? What are the chances of a male dog and a female dog? What are the chances of anything? Why did he make two species of something, a man and a woman, a man and a woman? And then we mixed and we evolved. But at the end of the day, the creator knew what he was doing between our DNAs and everything else. So today, you're not special just because you're gay. You're not special just because you're Republican. You're not special just because you voted for Trump. You're not special even if you're fucking Trump. There's a higher power, and that's God. And his son, Jesus Christ, is the way. And if you don't believe that, good for you. I'm not knocking you. But I do wish you were more educated in the good book, and you will realize why it's called the good book. So with that, I'll talk to you guys more later. Send me your comments, your thoughts, your ideas. I'll be touching more on the LA races. I will be talking more about families and businesses and schools and homeschooling, education, growing your own food, growing your own cannabis. And at the end of the day, read the good book. You'll be surprised how much good stuff there is in there. God bless.